What's going on, everybody? Now, since I won't be doing GRG this coming up week, and I will still have GRG, but I just won't be there, I wanted to touch on this situation that happened in Jacksonville, Florida, in regards to the two people that lost their lives, or I should say three, and for the other people that got injured. And my heart goes out to everyone out there. The sad thing about this is that there's people that get shot and killed every day in inner cities and all over the world. I mean, stuff that happens in Syria, and there's pain and grief everywhere. And just so many people they get overlooked because of other situations. But this really hit home to a lot of us gamers because of so many other factors. One is because it's a place where you go play games. It's a tournament. You're amongst your peers. You would never think that somebody would go to the level of wanting to kill or harm anyone because of a video game. Another problem with this is that we have a serious problem of mental illness going on in this country. There's a lot of people that's depressed, they're hurting, they want something to talk to, and so without having the proper outlets to communicate, people get closed in and then they just go off. Social media has a factor to it, to the bullying, all, going after people, putting up an image of where people should be this way instead of who they really are. People's expressions about certain things, people get ridiculed because of how they feel, and so they feel that they have to be another way. There's just so many other factors that drives this. I'm not going to be one of those people because I'm a Generation Xer or a Generation X person and going to blame it on millennials or Gen X or whatever. It's got nothing to do with that. I mean, it's from what you hear about from what the neighbors said about the gentleman that did the shooting and killed himself, is that he was a good guy. But then when you was watching on the tournament, they were saying that he didn't really want to talk. He looked intense. And the dude just snapped, man. I mean, it's a damn shame that people have to lose their life. I felt really bad for the guy that they showed the picture of him, and it looked like his young wife and his young child. And that child is not going to know its father because of the fact that somebody just snapped. They lost themselves. And the dude was a coward for killing themselves instead of standing there and facing judgment. I went to work today, and, the guys at work know that I play games, I do YouTube, things like that. And so the first thing when I walked the door, hey, do you hear about that, man? What did you think about it? And so I gave my thoughts on it, and one of the coworkers came out and said, this is why they should never have violent video games. That was one of the problems right there. You kids just don't know how to handle yourself. And it's not really a generational thing. I mean, you can blame it on millennials, and they're different from us, and baby boomers is different from Gen X kids, and so forth and so forth. But it all comes to, like I said earlier, is about mental health evaluation, gun laws. Look, I'm all about the Second Amendment. I own guns myself. The fact of it is that there has to be some kind of regulation, some kind of rule. You can't walk into a grocery store with a gun. I don't want teachers to hold guns. I thought things would really start changing after Sandy Hook, man. I really did. After those young children got slaughtered, I thought that there would really be some change out there. And especially in Florida, while so many people are getting blasted. I mean, it's not even about just the schools getting shot, but there was clubs where the people that were homosexual, they got lit up because they were who they were. And there's other people, race, Trayvon Martin, so many other things, people carrying guns. There's just some people that just don't need weapons. They just don't. It's just like having a CDL or for just learning how to drive or any other thing. There's got to be some kind of evaluation going on here. The other thing that I hate about this is the politicization of what's going on with that. Everything is so politicized right now. You have the far left that's using this as a stepping stone. The far right that's using it, going against gamers and using this as a stepping stone to avoid what's going on within the administration, and so forth and so forth. While my coworker was bringing that up about why gamers shouldn't be having violent video games, only thing I brought up back was like, well, then if you felt like that, then you should feel the same way about violent movies. Violent movies has been in the game for a long time, Jack. You know what I'm saying? The Godfather was in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how we have, it's just so many other factors. Like I said, to me, I look at participation awards as a problem. I always did. I remember when my son won he won a participation award for flag football, and I took his award. I took his trophy. Like, you didn't win nothing, you lost. What are you going to look at this and covet this for? You've lost. I think people need to learn how to lose so then they can adapt to get to want to be better at everything in life. You want to be number one, so you strive for that. You get a participation award, it's more like, to me, is like, well, I could just go ahead and be second place. No, I mean, I'm always coming in. You're going to win, you're going to lose bad, you're going to lose close. But when you win, it's so gratifying. So to see that guy that won last year and to lose for what round it was, it didn't matter. It was so bad. It was horrible. To hear those kids lose their lives and suffer like that, it's ridiculous. And something needs to be done. You know, we don't want to go to every place that we go to and have to worry about or have armed guards everywhere, or worried about if somebody might tick off and might have a gun and want to start blasting. And what's the saddest thing about this whole situation is that these terrorist acts, because I do feel that they're terroristic acts, they're done domestically. These are done by Americans. Americans are harming Americans. While everything is highly politicized and you're more worried about immigrants or about Muslims, the biggest problem is that Americans are harming each other. All you got to do is just look and go through history. Who would have thought back then in the 90s during Columbine that we was going to see this type of thing become an epidemic, where an individual like in Denver that goes out and shoots people in a movie theater, people thought it was a prop and this dude just lights them up. What the racist motivation of going into a church and killing people. You also have, of course, these children getting killed. The situation that happened in Vegas, where at a country concert, all these people just going to have a good time just dying. It's sad out there, man. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Peace.